The forest does not have echoes. If you yell into the trees, and you hear your own voice bounce back to you, run, because the woods don't repeat words. They copy them. A group of 3 hikers went deep into the restricted lines of a national park last winter. The snow was heavy. The air was freezing. By 6 p.m., the sun had completely vanished, leaving them in a suffocating, pitch-black silence. That is when the rules of the world changed. They set up their tent. Around midnight, the youngest hiker, Leo, stepped outside to clear some snow. 2 minutes later, the remaining 2 hikers inside heard Leo calling out from the dark, "Hey, guys, come look at this. Hurry." It sounded exactly like him, the same pitch, the same nervous laugh. So they opened the tent zipper and looked out into the blackness. They saw Leo standing 50 yards away under a massive pine tree. He was waving at them to come closer. But as they stepped into the snow, one of the hikers felt a cold sweat break out on his neck. He realized something terrifying. Leo was waving, but his shoulder wasn't moving. His arm was perfectly stiff, swinging back and forth like a broken pendulum, and his mouth wasn't opening when the words came out. Suddenly, a heavy hand grabbed the hiker from behind. They spun around, terrified. Standing right there behind them was the real Leo. He had just walked back from the opposite direction. He whispered, "Don't make a sound. I've been watching it for 10 minutes. It's been trying to mimic my voice." They slowly turned back to look at the entity under the pine tree. The thing realized the trap was broken. It stopped swinging its arm. The fake Leo's face slowly began to stretch, dropping open into a wide, hollow, toothless grin that no human could ever make. And then it spoke again, but it didn't use Leo's voice anymore. It used the hiker's own voice. It said, "I see you." They survived because they turned off their flashlights and hid in the freezing dark for 6 hours without breathing. The thing walked around their tent all night, perfectly mimicking the sound of heavy footsteps, using their own voices to beg each other to open the door. So remember this if you ever go camping. If you get lost in the dark and you hear a familiar voice calling your name from the trees, do not answer, because it is not looking for a conversation, it is practicing